Hello again, this is Andy at Handy Andy, and just wanted to show a quick video. We had a client call in with a question on what's the big deal about using screws on decks and porches as opposed to nails. And here's a great example of why you would do that. This is a house a client had us do some work on, and she's going to have us come back and do the deck. She needs to talk it over with her partner first and make sure that this is what they need to do. But you can see where the outer band board right here, you can see where the nails are just separated. This deck was probably built about 15 years ago, appears to be original to the structure. And you see in the back corner back here where it hits against the plate of the house. See the gap? But here's a real telling piece. As you look across this front right here, you see that this gap on the outer edge. See how it thickens up along that whole area right there? Well, you're about to see why. If you look down here underneath these joists, and they've changed the code since this house was built. These all need joist hangers right now. Simpson Tie makes them. There's a couple companies that make them, but you really want to have them screwed in there. Screws are for life. And as you go down this line down here, we'll crawl in from the other side to be able to see it a little bit better. But there's like a 6-inch gap between where that joist is sitting and the outer band board where it's just been pushed off by the nails. And all it takes, now fortunately this deck is 5 feet off the ground. So all it takes on a big deck is for a bunch of people to see something going on in the yard and they all come to the outside edge. All of a sudden you've got 2,000 pounds on the outside edge, and those nails, it's just physics. They just let loose. But we've, just kind of pushed the deck together a little bit so that this customer can go ahead and do what they need to do with the house. But we're going to come back down on another trip with joist hangers and put this back together. But this is a great example. Nails are temporary. They're not permanent. If you don't put something in here with a serrated or spiral edge or like a screw edge, it just over time is going to pull out, and you can see at this outer edge on the right side of the front porch what's happened. But look right here. See how these nails are? Let me try and get in a little bit better for you. And hopefully this will answer your question, Bob, in terms of why we prefer to use screws instead of nails. And unfortunately there's not enough light to see it. We'll dig down below here real quick. And you can see how these have actually pulled, these joists have pulled away. And as you get down in here a little further, there you go, there's a perfect example right here. It's not connected to anything anymore, these two, and the outer board is slipped out about 6 inches. But that's the importance of using screws, and it's really important when you're getting bids from people to do decks, and Handy Andy does decks too. There's a lot of good contractors in Metro Atlanta, or all over the country for that matter, that do a deck the right way, but there's probably 75% of them that don't, because everyone's looking at price, and it's not always just about price. You need to ask, okay, how are you going to put my deck together? Nails, screws, hangers. If it's being permitted in the code enforcement is going to make them do it the right way, but a lot of people aren't doing that, and there's not really a need to if you know what you're doing. In some situations, check with your local municipality, make sure. But really, something like this, screws, joist hangers, not a problem. Be here for life. They've got some issues here on the way that they set these posts, and we'll fix that for her as well. Pretty simple fix, but definitely a safety concern, and I hope that answers your question. We pretty much do everything from little handyman stuff to you name it. Give us a call, 770-912-2829. I'm Andy with Handy Andy. Take care now. Bye-bye.